another Tune of the Month. Thanks for joining us. I was thinking the other day that we have been doing all these great jigs and reels, but it has been forever since we've done a Strathspey. So let's do a Strathspey. I have this one that I love. I know it as Miss Gordon's Strathspey, but it is a Scottish tune, so I'm willing to bet that the full name is Miss Gordon of Somewhere's Favorite Something or Other. Those Scottish tunes always have long names. But anyway, it's definitely Miss Gordon, and it's by William Marshall, who's a wonderful Scottish composer. I always think of him as like the Scottish Mozart, always very clean and interesting and pretty writing from him. So here's the tune. Just a quick, pretty little Strathspey for you today. If you like listening, hopefully that was enjoyable for you, and I'll see you next month. If you would like to learn how to play the tune, stick around, I'll show you right now. And I'll remind everybody, as always, if you find it helpful to see tunes like this written out, sheet music, marked with all the bowings and the ornaments and things like that, I do that, and I email it out on my monthly newsletter every month. For the Tune of the Month. So if that's a useful tool for you, go to my website and join the newsletter. You'll have access to all of those. So this tune is in D major, and it's played both in Scotland and in Cape Breton. Scottish fiddling and Cape Breton fiddling are the two styles of music in the world that have Strathspeys at all, and they play them very differently. This tune can be done either way. We'll get into that a little more later. But for right now, let's learn the basic tune. I'm going to take all the ornaments out to keep it really clean. Section. And if you're looking for patterns, which hopefully you are by now if you've been a follower of the Tune of the Month, you'll notice that the A section just repeats the first half twice. Right? If the rhythm sounds confusing to you, you can go back, I think the last Strathspey we did was in August. We did Memories of Father Angus MacDonald, and there I explained all about the Strathspey rhythm. So if that's a mystery to you, you can pause this video, go back and check that one out, and get the principles explained. Alright, so that's the A section slowly. It doesn't really change much. The tempo doesn't change much. So how you get it sounding way more intricate is by adding lots and lots and lots of ornaments. I personally am using mostly flaps, that Scottish ornament we keep talking about. That's a note, note above, and right back to the note. Lots of flaps through here. I'm going to slowly go through the A section, and I'll show you where I'm putting in the ornaments. Flap, flap, flap. And right at the end there was a hammer-on. Did you notice I'm flapping every open A string that I can possibly fit? Sometimes I feel like I can't get all three in there, 3 A's there, and then I'll just do 2. But every A that I can, I'm flapping. And then a little hammer on at the end. Hammer on. I'll do that section again. This is descending broken thirds. We've seen this many times, and usually you're going to flap every other one. Flap. Flap. Hammer on. we're back to the beginning. Flap. Of course, I'm going to handle that exactly like the first time. Flap every A that I can. There are 3 available. And then a hammer on the last note. Here's the next part, is again the descending broken thirds, and again I'm going to flap every other one. Flap. Flap. Hammer on. That's it. How patterned is that? Sounds really fancy if you don't know how to break it down, but if you do, you find it's just the same thing repeated over and over. I'll do the whole A section slowly with ornaments. No ornaments. Okay, so I said no ornaments. I actually left the 16th note runs in. Those are kind of like cuts. They are functional ornaments. That's the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-bum-ba-dum. And it really just makes sense to take those out slowly, so I'm leaving it in. It probably feels like a long B section. Let's break it down for patterns. That's the first part. Now, the ornaments. Right? So that's sort of like the same part repeated twice. Functionally doesn't feel like it because the second one starts with the runs. But you can kind of think of those two together. Now, when normally we would go back like the beginning of the B section, we're going to keep going with the descending broken thirds. And now a little ending, which is also broken thirds. See how I divided it into kind of those 4 quadrants? There's the theme of the B section, theme repeated with those 16th note runs, doesn't really feel like a repeat, but it is. Descending broken thirds, and a little broken third ending. Here's the whole thing. So bad if you think about it in those blocks. Let's add some ornaments. Only that hammer on at the end. Did you hear that? Cling. Hammer on. The next one already has the ornaments built in. So I'm only adding the one at the end again. Here's the broken thirds. I bet you can guess what I'm going to use. Flap on every other. Flap. Actually, I kind of flapped every one, didn't I? Hammer on. Yeah, so the descending broken third sequence, you could flap every one, you could flap every other. It actually works both ways. The ending. Did you hear the 3 flaps? Flap. 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 That's the whole B section with all the ornaments in. I'll do the whole thing slowly with ornaments. Interesting how so few ornaments can make a tune sound so fancy. I'm continually fascinated by it. So keep looking for well-placed ornaments. We've been developing today and also in past couple of months a pattern of flapping every other group in descending broken thirds. I have a feeling that's going to stick through a lot of other tunes that we do. So try it out in other tunes that you know that use broken thirds. See if it holds up. Alright, that's all I got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed the tune, and as always, if I see you somewhere out on the road, I would love to play this with you. So go ahead and learn it, show it to your friends, and look for me because I will jam this with you anytime. See you later.